so excited to be here for the Small Business Salute Luncheon today. I look forward to this one every year, one of the best luncheons we have all year, and I'm excited about it in our small businesses in our area that really makes our area go. So we thank all of those, and we pray God's blessings upon all of our business, especially the small businesses. So let me begin with recognizing some of our dignitaries that are here today. From State Representative Dan Huberty's office is Casey Chrisman. Thank you, Casey. We have with us the Honorable Mayor of the City of Humble, Mayor Merle Aaron. He's in the house somewhere. From U.S. Congressman Ted Poe's office, Heather Ramsey Cook. Where is Heather? There she is. And from Harris County Commissioner Jack Cagle's office, Kent Klingerman. Now I want to recognize the Board of Directors of the Lake Houston Area Chamber of Commerce. If you're a member of the Board of Directors, would you just stand for a moment? We just want to recognize you. Thank you for being here serving with us today on the Board of Directors. Any of our distinguished investors, if you're here, would you please stand? Distinguished investors, thank you. Thank you for your investment in the Chamber of Commerce. At this time, I want to recognize a new member, and we want to recognize, and we'd like to ask Costco representatives to stand here today. There are new members. We're at Costco. I want you to come forward. We want to give you a recognition as a partner investor. And Costco's has gone through the ringer here in the last few weeks, literally. And we thank you for investing here in the Chamber of Commerce. Now, everybody want to know when you're opening again.
November 30th.
November the 30th, this year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, we thank you for being persistent, and we'll welcome you when we're going to celebrate your coming back to business and opening up again in our community. God bless you. Samples are on you. All right. Thank you. You can join us for free samples when you come to Costco's. All right. Thank you. We're just so excited about them reopening, as we're excited about all of the businesses that are reopening in our area with our Back to Business campaign. I would like to also thank our sponsors. Our presenting sponsor is Insperity. Thank you, Insperity. Let me tell you who our gold sponsors are. They are Community Impact Newspapers, Regis North Belt Intercontinental Airport, the Observer newspaper, Waste Connections of Texas. Come on, give a hand to our gold sponsors. Our silver sponsor, Kingwood Promotions, Minuteman Press of Humble, and Yoga One Studios in Kingwood. Come on, let's thank you so much for sponsoring us. And we have our bronze sponsor, North Houston Regional Center for Economic Development, and FFG Strategic Consulting, LLC Engineering Solutions. Let's give them a hand. Is that you over there at the table making all that noise? Okay, you're giving yourself a hand. All right, well, thank you so much for sponsoring us as our bronze sponsor. Thank you. Now I want to take a moment to introduce Aaron Hunt, who's the Manager of Sales Performance Improvement with Insperity. Would you join me as we welcome Aaron Hunt? Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you so much. And thank you to the Chamber for putting on such an impactful event for the community businesses that make this an amazing place to live. Insperity has been blessed to serve many of these same businesses for over 30 years now. Our mission is to help businesses succeed so communities prosper. And we take this mission very seriously because your dream is similar to ours. You work hard and sacrifice greatly to get your business up and running. Insperity gets in the fight with you to help ensure your success. Each business represented in this room has unique challenges day in and day out. We help you maximize your growth potential through the talented employees that work with you that help drive your success. We also help minimize your employer-related risks by addressing these challenges before they occur. Whether your business is in the early stages of growth and just trying to achieve viability, or preparing to leave a legacy for the next generation, there are human resources solutions to benefit your efforts. One of the most important things that a business can do to accelerate growth is to align their people strategy with their business strategy. This will determine the amount of help they need to knock down obstacles to success. Insperity pairs award-winning HR technology with a passion for customer service. We work tirelessly to help remove distractions that pull you away from growing your business. We are relentless in providing exceptional service and unmatched follow-through. Our founder and CEO, Paul Sarvati, shares that what differentiates us in the marketplace is the depth and breadth of our services and the level of care that we provide to our clients. This was shown fully in the aftermath of Hurricane Harvey. I was so encouraged to see the example of servant leadership that our executive team displayed. We have been granted extra time off to support our local clients and their families and our neighbors as we all work together to recover from this tragic event. It's not every day you get to swing a hammer and sweat with the COO of a $3 billion company after all. So, even after donating $1 million to the Lake Houston Area Relief Fund, that wasn't enough. Insperity has matched dollar for dollar the donations of corporate employees to help each other get back on track with life. Now, as you can tell, I love my company. I get to call it home. Hope it's the last business I ever work for. But you're not here to hear from me. So I'd like to take just a moment and introduce our featured speaker, Tim Jeffcoat. Mr. Jeffcoat is the director of the U.S. Small Business Administration in Houston. He oversees the delivery of the SBA programs and services in Houston and the surrounding 32 counties of Texas. Most of Tim's career has been private sector leadership roles in international business, marketing, and business development. Tim's career has required international assignments and global responsibilities. Tim is a graduate of Auburn University with a Master of Business Administration degree. Tim also has a Bachelor's of Science degree in marketing and a Bachelor's of Science degree in music business. Not a slacker there, I tell you what. In his spare time, Tim enjoys training for and competing in iron distance triathlons and teaching in graduate business school. In May of 2013, Tim was nominated for the SBA Ike Award in the category of Most Valuable Player. Please help me welcome Tim Jeffcoat, everyone.
Well, hello, everyone. Let me get this thing, make sure I'm ready to rock and roll. I got to tell you, a funny thing happened to me after I ate. I ate a little faster than everyone else because I knew I'd be speaking. So I went to the restroom to make sure I didn't have spinach in my teeth and that kind of thing. And anybody been to the restroom here? Show of hands. The soap is the same color as scope, mouthwash. So I'm sitting there looking at my teeth. I go, okay, I think I'm okay. Oh, look, they have mouthwash. And I got to tell you, it doesn't taste like mouthwash. So you've heard of washing your mouth out? Okay, so that's what I did. Okay. No, I'm kidding. I didn't actually do that. But I almost did. So SBA, who are we, what do we do, and how can we help you? First, who owns a small business? Oh, man, I am so excited. That is very cool. Very cool. Okay, who wants to own a small business? Okay, very cool. Very cool. I like that too. Who's not a small business? Okay, outstanding. So let's talk about SBA, what we do, who we are. I'm going to push that button. So we help Americans start and grow their small businesses. That's what we do. We have a lot of ways we do it. But I'm just going to talk about 4 central themes today. If you didn't know it, I'm going to get out from behind this thing. If you didn't know it, a small business can be a manufacturing firm or some kind of process firm like an oil refinery or a delivery service with up to 1,500 employees. Or it can be a service-oriented firm like a refinery or a car rental agency with up to $38.5 million in annual revenue. So that's a pretty large organization. We provide our services out of my office across 32 counties, with Houston being roughly in the middle. And here in the Houston area, if you didn't know this, there's about 607,000 businesses, 560,000 that have under 5 employees. So those are the people that we try to help. It's 99.5% of all the businesses in Houston. So my office is on the 12th floor of a building. And when I have visitors to my office, which I frequently do, I like, and the whole wall is glass. You've been in there, Paul, haven't you? And I like to point out there and say, everything you see is a small business except Memorial Hermann Hospital. Just to give you an example. But nationally, 63% of new jobs, 46% of GDP, 98% of all exporters are small businesses. So SBA cares about small businesses because small businesses are absolutely vital to the longevity and the dynamic nature of the economy in this country. So what do? There's 4 main things that we do to help small businesses. First thing is we help you with counseling. So let's talk about that. Here in the Houston area, when I say Houston, I'm talking about those 32 counties. So I'll talk about Houston a lot, and you'll keep thinking, we're not in Houston. I know that, but I'm talking about the whole area. We've got the small business development centers. Anybody familiar with them? Okay, they're really outstanding. 15 locations and over 100 staff. One of them is here, and I'm going to say Jan Koenig, but Jan Koenig is here. Stand up, show everybody who you are. You should come talk to him. The SCORE organization, anybody familiar with it? Okay, used to stand for Service Corps of Retired Executives. Everybody there isn't retired, but they are volunteers, many of which have owned their own businesses, sold them, started another one, sold it, this, that, and the other. Now they're retired, and they're willing to sit and help you and get the benefit of their experience. That says 135. I'm pretty sure they're probably close to 150 now. And they're in 15 offices just in the Houston metro. We also have a women's business center. They do accept male clients, but the whole point is that women often like to learn from women about the way women run and grow their businesses, and that's why we have a women's business center. You can read these things, but let's just say that our resource partner network is really dynamic. They help a lot of businesses, and they do a lot of things to help them. They mentor them, counsel them. That's free, as I like to jokingly say, as long as you've paid your taxes, then you have paid for their services. It's already done. We grant significant amounts of money from my office to SCORE and to SBDC to help them exist, and to WBC. Just for a second to talk about SBDC, these are the kind of results that they've been getting. If you look on the left, it says that the average Texas business grew 2.4% in terms of their employment, where SBDC's clients grew 25%. And as somebody that likes to help the economy, that really makes me excited. As small business owners, you want to look on the other side. The average Texas business grew negative 1.4%, but SBDC clients grew how much? 20%. Oh, you guys should have been more excited than that. Who doesn't want to grow 20%? I mean, seriously. Now, I skipped over one thing. I was talking about SCORE, and David Lurie, you're here somewhere. I saw you a minute ago. Where's David? You're behind me. Stand up, David. Make sure everybody can see you. David is one of the SCORE counselors and lives in this area. So you met Jan, you've met David. These guys are here to help you. They're both really dynamic. They're really good at what they do. We also have at our website, sba.gov, all kinds of resources that you can peruse at 3 o'clock in the morning sitting in front of your computer, and we're not going to care how you're dressed, that can help you with your business. And some of it is really high quality. In fact, there's an entrepreneurship program at the University of Houston, and a lot of their curriculum is built from the resources on this website. I just left this event. Honest, I did. You can see it says Tuesday, November 16th, where what we did is we had a room with 15 tables, and at every table was a different SCORE, SBDC, or WBC person. So small businesses could come in and they could spend 15 minutes with David, tell them about what's going on with your business and get some help, 15 minutes with Jan. If you don't like either one of them, that's okay. Then there's the Women's Business Center, go spend 15 minutes with them, and find the mentor or counselor that can help you, that you have some commonality with, grow your business and solve any business problems you have. So that you know if you have legal problems, they have lawyers. If you have financial problems, they've got CPAs. They have folks that are members of Houston Angel Network. So anything you need, they can cover it. Let's talk about the second thing we do. We help businesses grow directly through what we call our contracting activity. 23% of everything the government buys, and we buy more of everything than anyone in the U.S. government, we buy from small businesses. What that means is that out of the $500 billion worth of things we bought last year, things means services as well, $100 billion of that went to small businesses. $16 billion to service disabled, if anyone here is a veteran and service disabled. $20 billion, this is very important, to women-owned small businesses. And if you're interested in that, come see me, I'll tell you all about it. Just in Houston, last year, FY 2016, there were 769 contracts, $38 million. The top 4 went to, guess who? Guess who? That are clients of the SBA. See that first number says 3.2, that's $1 million. I don't know about you guys. When I ran my business, I never got orders for $3.2 million. That's very cool. I'm going to skip that. So the way it works is if you were accepted into one particular program called the 8A program, we have all kinds of sexy names in the SBA, then you're going to work directly with a member of my team for up to 9 years. They're going to give you some special training, not personally, they use companies to do that. But a main tool for helping you grow is giving you special access to contracts with the federal government. You still have to compete for them in that your pricing has to be competitive. But in many cases, you can negotiate directly with the government. You don't have to bid. Here are the criteria. You need to be both, as we like to say in the government, socially and economically disadvantaged. But wait till you hear about this, because a lot of people in this room qualify. It can be for race or ethnic origin. That's kind of obvious. It can also be physical handicap. So someone that is physically handicapped fits this program. Or it can be anyone in this room if you can explain to us, the federal government, why you don't have the same opportunity for success as others. And I'll give you an example. There's a Caucasian lady, she's blonde, in Corpus Christi. She owns a construction company that clears off sites for the other construction companies to come build their things. I think they call that site prep. And her point was that it's a good old boy network. It's really difficult for her to get contracts with her business. She loses lots of contracts she tries to get. So she basically petitioned us and said, with just a one-page document that said, here's why I should be in the 8A program. And we looked at that and said, yeah, you're right. So now she's in the 8A program getting contracts. Economically disadvantaged means your net worth, if we leave out your home, your business, and probably your retirement assets, can't exceed $250,000. So that includes an awful lot of people. If your assets do not exceed $4 million. So if you look at those two, that's how we define if you are economically disadvantaged. Here's the results. There's a lady down around Clear Lake. She entered the program about 10 years ago. She's been graduated now for about a year. You can see all the red numbers. In her 9 years, she got over $100 million in contracts. She went from a handful of employees to over 300, and she's now got 5 offices. She has become so significant in her space, competing for contracts in the federal government, that when she pursues a contract, other bidders drop out. She's become that formidable. She's still a small business. She's an absolutely terrific lady. What she does is one of the most boring things in the world. She helps us do what we do. So for instance, she has contracts at NASA where she provides, she keeps the office running and keeps the copiers fed with paper and keeps, legal pads in the closet so that the scientists can focus on how to get to Mars. And we pay people to do that. As taxpayers, you should be happy about that, because alternatively, we could just hire a whole bunch of people to sit around and do that. Instead, we contract that out. Those are the kinds of contracts that she gets, over $100 million worth of them. I don't know about you, but I'd kind of like to have $100 million in contracts. Oops, I went the wrong way. So if you want to learn more about that, you can ask me, you can ask David, you can ask Jan, they know all about it. Or if you go to my website, that link doesn't work anymore, I'm sorry. But if you just Google SBA Houston, you'll find my website. There's a calendar on there, and you can see where we do webinars about federal contracting, the 8A program, the women-owned program, and something called Hub Zone, historically underutilized business zone, every week. We do these webinars repeatedly every week. We'll do about 150 a year. Okay, I'm going to go to the next one. By the way, did I tell you there's 4 C's? Okay, I see some people nod their heads. The 4 C's of SBA. Who remembers what the first one was? Counseling. Very good. Who knows what the second one was? Contracting. What's the third one? Capital. Capital. So we help you find the money that you need to start or grow your business. Anybody need money for your business? You don't have to raise your hands. But I know you do, because that's a common need. You know, you got to finance inventory, you got to finance growth, you got to finance building some new facilities. So we have a bunch of lenders across the area. We support and train them. The SBA loans are, compared to other commercial loans, are not only roughly the same price, maybe even less expensive, but the terms are often more compatible with a small business. For instance, a typical commercial loan might require a balloon payment after, let's say, 5 years. No balloon payments with SBA loans, and they go up to 25 years. So it helps you finance and grow without strapping your company too much. So this is the process. You go into Paul Reed's bank, or you go into Richard Gianni's lending organization. They're both here, and they're SBA lenders. And you walk out with a briefcase full of money, and you're happy. You see he's smiling, right? Okay, now you can go see them after this. You can tell them I said so. If you go in with a briefcase, they're supposed to fill it up with money, and you leave happy. So you know I'm kidding, right? So last year, about every business day, so today, this business day, 7 loans will be done to small businesses for around $3.6 million. The total last year was about $929 million worth of loans in Houston, which is a really disappointing number because of Harvey. Harvey cost us about $70 to $80 million worth of loans that would have been made to small businesses. Now, I don't particularly care about the loans. I'm not a bank, I'm the government. What I care about is there's $70 to $80 million worth of small business funding that didn't occur because Harvey happened. So it would have been over $1 billion. 29% of them, though, are under $50,000. That L is a typo. You see, I'm not the best secretary in the world. So how do you find a lender? Anybody here think you might want to find an SBA lender that could help you with your business? So the easy ways. First, hook up with David or Jan. They will help you make sure how much you need, how long you need it for, whether you want to finance what you think you want to finance. They're going to give you really great advice and help you get ready to talk to a lender, because you want to be able to talk to a lender in the language that they like to hear things in. Second, if you go back to my website, there's a common theme here, right? Go to my website. On the bottom left, every month, I will give you a list of every lender in this district and how much they've lent and how many loans, so that you can see who's really active and who's not. That'll tell you who's really active if you go to this website, and that's Hagel, not Haggle. And if you go to Hagel, Houston Association of Government Guaranteed Lenders, they might haggle, but and click that little pink thing, bank membership. It'll tell you the actual person at those banks that are doing SBA lending, or persons, their phone numbers, their addresses, their emails, so that you can contact them. Something else you can do is about every quarter, we will hold, I told you about this mentor matchmaking that was going on this morning with like 15 tables in the room. You get 15 minutes each with a bunch of business mentors. We do the same thing with lenders, where you can spend 15 minutes each with people that know small business lending, they understand small businesses, and they know SBA. And you can spend time talking to them. And then the last comment is there's something called Lender Match on our website. And if you go to Lender Match, you basically say, hi, I'm Tim. I need $1 million because I want to open a Subway franchise. I have some prior experience in making sandwiches. Thank you very much. And that goes to the lenders in the area, and you get matched with the lenders that are compatible with you. If you are a firm that does any kind of technical research or develops any kind of scientific approaches to management methodology, what have you, then this isn't loans, this is where we give you money. We don't do a lot of research of our own in the government. Instead, we get it from others. So we'll give you $150,000 if you have a good idea, so you can do the research to determine whether it's feasible. If it's feasible and we still like the technology that you're proposing, we'll give you up to $1 million to do a prototype or a proof of concept. If we still like it, then we will help you find the equity financing from venture capital or angel capital firms that will allow you to then launch that product and commercialize it. We do a lot of this. Here in the Houston district in the last 5 years, there have been almost 500 of these grants that have occurred. I'll tell you one example. Anybody know anything about Petri dishes? You know what a Petri dish is? All right, so you grow cultures in a Petri dish. And a Petri dish, well, it's just a dish, like a saucer laying on your table there, basically the same thing. The problem is it's flat. So when you grow a culture in it, it doesn't behave the same way it would if it were in our body, because we're not flat. So a couple of folks here in Houston, believe it or not, playing water polo, afterward, a doctor and a chemist said, gee, wouldn't it be cool if we could have three-dimensional Petri dishes? As it turns out, between the two of them, they understood how to do that. They wrote an application to the government. We gave them 150 grand. They developed a proof of concept after we gave them $1 million, and they are now commercializing three-dimensional Petri dishes right here in Houston. I talked about equity. If your business is at the point where you need somebody to invest in you so you can grow to that next big level, then here in Houston are 4 organizations. We amplify their money. So in this program called Small Business Investment Companies, we qualify them as companies that we would like to see invest in small businesses. They have equity funding available. They have really friendly terms for the most part. There's a pretty popular restaurant here based in Houston that many of you have probably eaten at. And they're at a point where their bank that they currently work with just isn't willing to take the risk to get them to the next level, which is not a reflection on the bank. They're not in the business of taking risks. I've introduced them to one of those 4 companies, and they've talked to them, and it looks like they're on their way to perhaps a $20 million investment so that they can go nationwide. Pretty exciting stuff. Last thing we do, and this is just horribly depressing, but I'll make it quick, disaster or crisis. The 4th C is crisis. So we help businesses and we help homeowners. This is one of the times when we actually loan the money directly to the individuals. So far after Harvey, we have lent over $2 billion here in the area, 1,500 to businesses and 24,000 loans to homeowners, $1.9 billion. There's 57 disaster recovery centers open here. There's about 350 SBA people working here in Houston that don't work for me, and they come here because of Harvey. And they're all going to leave sometime probably in the next 90 days. There are business recovery centers, 2 that are right here in the metro, where if you go there as a business that has been affected by Harvey, you'll have people that can sit down and understand the loan application process for you as an affected business. And there will be people there, in this case they happen to be with the SBDC, that can counsel you, can help you understand how to get your customer base back, how to get your revenue flowing again, how to recover from Harvey. Because it's not just about the money, it's about how to recover. The way it works is for businesses, we will loan up to $2 million at a low fixed rate. It's either 3.3 or 6.6% depending on a few factors. This is for the damages to your business, or if your business is absolutely okay, but now the road to your business has been washed out, and so people can't drive to your business any longer. We would call that an economic injury. That's the EIDL loan or EIDL loan. So we'll loan you up to $2 million to help you survive while the roads are rebuilt and the customers can come back to your location. For homeowners, we'll loan you up to $200,000 for the home and $40,000 for your personal property, 1.75%, or in some cases it's 3.5%. Last thing I'm going to talk to you about is every year we have an awards process here in Houston. Our event last year outgrew the location that we hold it at. We had 500 people at it last year. This year we expect 700. We award 6 categories of business awards. Small Business Person of the Year, Exporter, and 8A graduate, and those go on to a national competition where you're recognized in Washington. Entrepreneurial Success, which is the small business that is no longer small. Young Entrepreneur and Family-Owned Small Business. This is a really cool event. Last year we did it in conjunction with the Greater Houston Partnership. We've had former Houston mayors speak at it. We've had former congressional representatives speak at it. Last year we had Patrick Jankowski with the Greater Houston Partnership give an economic update at this event. It's a really cool event. If you think you're even remotely interested in either nominating a business you know about or nominating yourselves, there's the contact info, Charles A. Bell. If you contact Charles, he will give you everything you need to nominate yourself or some business for these awards, and he will help you through the process. With that, that's everything I came to tell you about, and if we have time, I am delighted to take any questions you might have. Yes, ma'am. That one? Okay. Yes, sir.
It's not really a question, but I was fascinated with what you were saying to me earlier about the new head of the SBA.
Yes.
I think people here would be interested in hearing some of the things you were telling me about.
Okay.
Linda McMahon.
Okay. Linda McMahon is you've heard of the Secretary of Defense and the Secretary of Education, et cetera. Ours is not called a secretary, she's called an administrator, but she works for President Trump, so my boss, who was here just a couple of weeks ago. And her name is Linda McMahon. And is anybody familiar with her? Okay, yeah, absolutely. She and her husband started what's now called WWE. She's a billionaire. And she chose to be in this job not because she needed visibility. She's had plenty of that. Not because she needed somebody to stroke her ego or that she needed to find a really cool job after working for the federal government. She did it because she loves small business and particularly loves women-owned small business. And she has come to the SBA as a total breath of fresh air. She's cutting away bureaucracy, which is wonderful for me in the field because I have to deal with it all the time. And she's giving us a more focused, meaner SBA capable of doing a lot more. So far, all the plans are not in place, but it's been really refreshing to have her involved. You know, federal government, there's a lot of process and procedure and red tape with government sometimes. And this is a lady that says, yep, I realize those exist, but why are they there and can we make them go away? I don't know who here is familiar with how the federal government works, maybe one or two, but that's not all that common. Anything else? Well, thank you very much for your time. I've enjoyed speaking. I will stay here for a little bit. If I can help any of you with anything, just let me know.
Tim, thank you very much. Hold on just a second, Tim. Since you're with the Small Business Administration, we want to give you a small gift from the Lake Houston Area Chamber of Commerce. God bless you. Thank you so much. Wow, what a lot of information that's valuable to those who are in business, whether you're small or